And what's cracking, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Bitcoin and Litecoin analysis video. Now, I'm going to try and keep this video as short as possible because my throat is still killing me. But it's getting better, a little better every day as well the days go on. However, not 100% just yet. Now, I know every time I say I'm going to keep it short, I end up going into the 20-minute mark. But what can I do, guys? There's just so much to talk about. I feel like markets are doing something very, very special here. So I think it deserves the appropriate attention. Now, today I'm going to try and keep this analysis more concentrated towards TA. Because as things stand right now, Bitcoin is seeing a bit of a pullback here. Now, I know this is welcome for those of you who have not gotten your allocation, and people are looking at this pullback thinking, well, how far low can Bitcoin really go? Okay, because a lot of people are not positioned. Speaking of people who are not positioned, I have one request from you guys. I did post a poll on the community tab. Sorry, this is the wrong tab. There we go. The community tab on our main YouTube channel. If you guys could go on and chime into the poll, that would be amazing. So the question is this. Do you have your desired Bitcoin allocation yet? So are you guys positioned? For those of you actually looking to position into Bitcoin, do you have that position just yet? Okay, so the options are yes, I bought all the Bitcoin I could, and no, I think price is still going lower. Or if you have any other reason for your no, you can just go ahead and click on no. But guys, be honest about this, okay? We can only get good results from here, insightful results, if you guys are honest. So go ahead and chime in. That way we can get a bit more insight as to what is the more painful direction Bitcoin could take right now. Is it a pump to the upside, or is it a dump to the downside that is going to induce most pain? Okay, so now on today's agenda, guys, I do have the agenda drawn out for us. This is the agenda. We'll be talking about the Bitcoin rejection level. Bitcoin did see a minor rejection here. Now, I did bring up two regions of resistance that I found earlier. And it was very minimal, okay? I'm not going to say minuscule because I think that will sort of depreciate the value of the regions of resistance I found, because one of which was actually critical resistance that we had overhead, okay? So I won't be going over those two levels today once again, because this will essentially give us a tell as to what level does Bitcoin need to break before we can anticipate the next pump to the upside. Okay, so we'll be going over that again, in addition to, well, my targets to the downside, okay? How far low can Bitcoin go? Now, I'm going to give you my insight on this and where I think Bitcoin could actually, draw down to. In my last video, once again, I gave you two plays. One would be a shallow pullback, and one would be a deeper pullback. And what has triggered right now is, the recipe for a deeper pullback. Okay, so I'll be giving you my targets on that. And then for the third part of this analysis, we'll be going over Litecoin, because as many of you guys know, I have been looking at Litecoin primarily because, it has a major event this year, which is the Litecoin halving, right? That happens in August, and historically, Litecoin has always rallied into the event. So, this is going to be our 3 points on the agenda. With that, we can jump right in. Now, of course, guys, it goes without saying that like button goes a very, very long way. So if you guys have been enjoying the analysis that Sean and I have been putting out, go ahead, smash the like and let us know. Alrighty, so with this, let's begin with, point number one, the Bitcoin rejection level. Now, the Bitcoin rejection level, in the last video, I brought up two regions of resistance, right? The first one you would find on your 4-day time frame. For that, you can just go ahead and switch on your Mango ribbon. All right. By the way, guys, the Mango ribbon is a free indicator that we're giving out. All you guys need to do is just request access. I will be linking the access sheet in the description below, so you guys can just go ahead and, request access for that, okay? But anywho, the region of resistance that we had overhead was actually the 55 exponential moving average. Now, I told you guys that I did do some back testing on the 55, and while it's not 100% in terms of really catching the rejection points, it is pretty decent in really understanding, okay, you know what, if there's a potential pullback coming in right now, it could be here. Okay, so now the 55 EMA, guys, comes in at around $21,483. All right, if you guys want to go ahead and take note of that, you can. If you want to smack it out on your chart, you can do that too. Okay, $21,483. So now this was the first region of resistance. All right, the second one that I brought up to your attention, now this was the important one that I brought up, right? And because this had amazing playthrough. The second one was actually the weekly dynamic. If I bring up the weekly dynamic indicator, you'll see that the dynamic also lined up with that 55. Once again, if I had to get the exact number for you guys, came in at around $21,484. Now, for those of you who do not have access to the dynamic indicator, you guys know that these levels are constantly moving. You guys can go ahead and take note of this. $21,484 to be very, very exact. Okay, now if I have to just zoom out of this picture, you can see that ever since Bitcoin got propelled into its bear market, we have been using the dynamic as overhead resistance. Resistance here. Once again, we try to take it out, resistance right here. And every test of the dynamic on the weekly was an amazing short opportunity to be had, right? You yielded some amazing swing plays on the short side. So once again, we're seeing a rejection off of the dynamic right here. Okay, we've yet to clear it out. So as far as the next pump to the upside is concerned, guys, I will be looking for Bitcoin to actually take out this region at $21,484 before I expect the next swing to the upside. Okay, so that is going to be the criteria that I look for. So far, it is a rejection. Now, I believe this is going to be a good segue into the next part of our agenda, which is, well, how far low can Bitcoin really go? Right, now before I really give you the targets to the downside, which by the way is going to be on our lower time frames, right? Because what you guys need to understand is that ever since Bitcoin actually kicked up in volatility, we've been trending, guys, on the 4-hour time frame. I mean, just look at price action relative to that mango dynamic, right? Every test of the dynamic has been met with support. This is the time frame on which Bitcoin has actually established its trend. So what I'm about to present to you in this part of the video is just lower time frame targets. Now, I wanted to put a bit of emphasis on this because I understand that many of you guys are still looking for those much deeper pullbacks, right? Pullbacks all the way down to some of our weekly levels at around 15.5K or hell, even $13,000. A lot of people are still looking for 13K on the books. Now, of course, I understand why people are still swinging bearish. Okay, now this is primarily because of, number one, Bitcoin has not entirely reversed its bear market trend. I think it's very, very important to note that. But in addition to that, there's going to be a level of recency bias that people apply onto the chart, right? Recency bias, why? Because if you're looking at recent price action, okay, over the past 1 year, all Bitcoin has done is just established a downtrend. Every time we do get a rally to the upside, that rally is quickly sold into until we get the next swing play to the downside. Once again, we had that right here. We had that right here. We had that right here. So yes, there is going to be recency bias that you may actually fall victim to. Okay, and yes, I'm going to use heavy words like victim right here because it's very important to understand that if you guys are not prepared for certain turns in the market, you guys are going to be left without your allocation. Okay, that is a very, very messy position to be in if price runs away from you. All right, so now I could be wrong on the markets turning here. However, I do have a system to keep me in check. Okay, I do have a system that I've built for myself that is going to essentially let me know when should I be expecting a bull run. Okay, at what point should I be looking at, hey, you know what, perhaps the music, perhaps that bull market music is about to start playing. Now, in one of my previous videos, I gave you 3 bull market signs, bull run signs that I am looking for, right? The 3 bull run signs, out of which 1 out of the 3 has already gone off. It went off just a couple of days ago. I brought it to your attention. Now, I will be linking this video I did on the end screen for those of you who have not caught it. However, I wanted to bring this up to your attention because, guys, this is my system, okay? This is my system to help me check my biases, to help me understand when should I be expecting a turn in the market. For those of you who are still swinging bearish in this juncture, if you guys are still looking for 13K, I want you guys to take a step back. If you have to do it this coming weekend, sit back and plan. What is your contingency just in case markets turn from here, right? What is your system? Come up with your system. That way you are not left without your allocation just in case we get that turn. Okay, don't try and catch the bottoms or the tops, guys. Remember, what you are gunning for here is the meat. Try and catch the meat if you are looking to get in your long-term allocation. Okay, so with that rant out of the way, I can now go on over to how far low can Bitcoin really go with this brand new rejection that we have on the chart. I'm just going to go ahead and clear everything out. Now, if you guys remember, I had proposed sort of two scenarios for you wherein we get either number one, a shallow pullback, or number two, a deeper pullback. Now, the criteria that sort of triggered for us was that of a deeper pullback. Now, the criteria for our deeper pullback was hinged on two things. Number one, the trend on the Mango dashboard, and number two, price against that 21 exponential moving average, which is the yellow line on my chart. Okay, as far as the Mango dashboard is concerned, let's go ahead and dissect the trend on the dashboard. On the daily time frame, guys, Bitcoin USDT is still bullish. This long trend signal got triggered 9 days ago. Okay, if you're someone who caught a trade on that, even after the dump, you're still up by a good 20% on that trade. Volatility right now, though, 90, but dropping. You can see that red arrow right there. Right, so this is still long. So now we know that the daily trend is bullish. Now, as far as the 4-hour time frame is concerned, now remember what we were looking for on the 4-hour time frame. If I was expecting a deeper pullback, I wanted to see this long trend flip neutral. However, we do not have that just yet. While everything else flipped, Bitcoin stayed long. Okay, this came in a week ago. If you caught a trade on this, even after the dump, you're up by a good 15% on that trade. I think as soon as Bitcoin starts dropping further, if we start breaking a region of support that we're currently sitting on, I'll go over that in just a minute. If we break that region, I say this trend actually then turns neutral. Okay, but for now, we're still long. However, what we do have is price against that 21 EMA. I told you guys that as soon as Bitcoin breaks that 21 EMA, that's when I'll be expecting a deeper pullback on the chart. Now, this was primarily because of how well Bitcoin has also been trending on the 21 EMA. That has been the signature of this rally, Bitcoin trending against that 21 EMA. Every test of the 21 was met with support. This is the first time since the trend actually began that we have consecutive candle body closes underneath that 21 EMA. Right, now, in addition to this, what this is sort of lining up with here, okay, is basically our high level targets. Now, I had brought up some targets to your attention, and the primary target in this range comes in at around $20,859. For those of you who are unaware of where I'm getting those targets from, I had extrapolated this based on the weekly time frame. So this is a high level target on my chart. Okay, extrapolated this from the volatility that stepped in right here with this 22% candle. All right, so 20,859 was one target, and the target to the upside came in at around 22,944. And I told you guys, for as long as we're living over 20.8K, I'm saying that the bulls have the edge. Notice what happened on the daily time frame instead. We finally lost 20.8K to the downside, and this candle, guys, we've been holding it as overhead resistance. We came back up for a test only to get rejected, and price now is currently living at the bottom of the range at around 20.6K. Now, getting back on over to the 4-hour time frame, I thought that was important just to drive in the importance of the 21 EMA, because notice the 21 EMA, guys, is lining up with 20.8K. That was a weekly region of support now turned into resistance. Okay, notice how that's lining up with the 21 EMA, so that adds more confluence to that number as well. Now, what I've drawn out for you here is a range. Okay, this is a range of support. As soon as we start taking out 20.6K, which is the bottom of our range, $20,688 for those of you who want to mark it out, I see one candle body close underneath that region. I'm looking for further downside from Bitcoin. Where to next? Well, the next target on this chart comes in at around that Kijun, okay? The Kijun, guys, comes in around $19,400. What I am expecting here, guys, is a very, very clean C-span trade, all right? From the Tenkin, which we got right here, all the way down to the Kijun. From where price is at right now to our target at around 19,400, that's still a good 6.41% to the downside. Now, while we do have 19,400 as a target, I do believe this is going to be more of a range as well, okay? And here's why. Because not only is this the 4-hour Kijun, but now if I go ahead and turn on my Mango ribbon and take you guys on over to the 12-hour time frame, you'll notice that we also have the 21 EMA swinging right above us, okay? And also, in addition to that, please notice the golden cross on the 12-hour time frame. We officially have a golden cross here. So now this 21 EMA comes in at around 19,821. All right, now in addition to this, if I now take you guys on over to the daily time frame, you'll notice that we have the 200 simple moving average sitting within that range. Okay, so this is the range. That's the 200 simple moving average. Now, in addition to the 200 simple moving average, we now also have the 3-day 55 EMA sitting in right there. Let me just zoom into this price action for you. Okay, that is the range once again. 55 EMA sitting in right above that range. Now, in addition to the 3-day 55 EMA, if I take you guys on over to the weekly time frame, we also have the weekly 21 EMA swinging in on that range. The weekly 21 EMA, guys, comes in at around 19,539. Now, I do believe that this is a 2% range, okay, 2.2%, give or take. But compared to the prevailing volatility that we're seeing on the chart, it is still on the minimum side, okay? It's still on the lower side. So, these are the two primary targets that I have and anything in between, okay? 19.8K going all the way down to 19.4K. So now these are going to be the levels that I personally gun for. These are the immediate targets that I see on the chart. Until and unless we start breaking the weekly 21 EMA to the downside, I will not be looking towards other downside targets. Okay, so first this, and only if we break this range, only then will I be looking for further downside from Bitcoin. Now this technically wraps up our Bitcoin analysis. With this, we can get on over to the altcoin of the day, which is Litecoin. Litecoin. I do believe Litecoin is doing something very, very special. It might be giving everybody an amazing bid opportunity soon. So I won't be going over that in a minute. We're first going to start off with the Mango dashboard to see what the Litecoin trend is doing on the dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and filter out LTC from this list. We're first going to start off with our higher time frames, and then we'll boil down to the lower time frames, okay? So what we need to understand first is that on the weekly time frame, guys, LTC has flipped bullish. We got a long trend on this 24 days ago. Alrighty, if you caught a trade based on when the signal went off, you're already up by a good 19% on that trade. This is even after the recent pullback that we saw on the chart. Right, so this is the weekly time frame. How about the 4-day? 4-day also long. Beautiful. If you caught a trade on this, you're up by a good 5%. How about the 2-day? Wow, 2-day also long. This came in 12 days ago. If you caught a trade based on this, you're up by a good 9%. So what we're seeing here, guys, is that the higher time frames, those macro time frames, are all telling you that LTC is bullish. Okay, so great. LTC has been rallying. We've gone over that in the past. But now question is, when is the next pullback opportunity? For the next pullback opportunity, what we want to see is we want to see pullbacks on our lower time frames. Are we getting that? Is the dashboard telling us that we're getting pullbacks on the lower time frames? Well, if I get on over to the daily is currently flipped neutral. This came in 12 hours ago, so just flipped neutral. How about the 12-hour? The 12-hour has flipped short. Beautiful. Okay, volatility at 40. This came in 12 hours ago. So now we're beginning to see the pullbacks on the lower time frames. How about the 4-hour? 4-hour also short. This came in a day ago. If you caught a trade based on that, you're up by a good 4.27%. Volatility at 83 telling us that this short move is getting a bit frothy. Okay, it's just a matter of time until it turns, but you know what? The bears might still have a bit more oomph before the bulls take over. Okay, so now we're seeing that, okay, the lower time frames are saying that we're pulling back, but now the main question is, are we pulling back into, say, maybe, I don't know, weekly support? For that, let's get on over to the chart to see what the chart is telling us. Okay. This is LTC on the weekly time frame. Now I'll tell you what I'm seeing right off the bat. If I'm just keeping things very, very clean and just going based off of support and resistance, I know for a fact, just by looking at this chart, that critical support comes in at around $78.22. In fact, historically, if you went and looked at price action against $78.22, you'll see just how well we have performed. It has been an excellent bid opportunity. What makes a bid opportunity an excellent bid opportunity is, well, how easy it is for you to manage that trade. Okay, every time we broke that region to the downside, we came back up for a retest and then a quick sell-off to the downside. But what's important about that is that, say you took a long position on this region, it basically allowed you to get out of your position very, very safely with either a minimal loss or in some cases even a profit. Okay, once again, we took it out. We made our way to the top of the range. Once again, we broke it, bottom of the range, took it out here, top of the range. In fact, we rallied significantly off of this level. That was a good 429% rally to the upside. How about this? We took out this region and found continuation to the downside. Now we met with rejection here when we tried to test it for the first time back in November of last year. And now this, for the first time in a very long time, we've actually managed to live over this. We have 2 consecutive weekly candle closes over 78.22. As things stand right now, it appears that price is coming back down to test that region. Okay, now what are the chances of price actually coming all the way down to test 78.22? Because what you need to understand is that from where price is at right now to that region, that's still a good 6% to the downside. So there's 6% left before we get a clear test of that region. Can price actually do that? Well, my thought is yes, it can. Okay, if I now take you guys on over to the 4-hour time frame, put on the Ichimoku cloud template, you'll notice that, okay, the price has currently penetrated the cloud levels. Okay, so now we have a nice clean edge to edge on the cloud with the bottom of the cloud lining up with 78.22. Beautiful. Right, we also have like an M-like formation, which is officially broken down. How about the 12-hour time frame? What is price doing on there? And what do you know? We have not only lost the 10 SMA, we've also lost the Tenkin and the 21 EMA. Once again, a nice, beautiful C-span trade with the Kijun lining up with 78.22. Okay, so now you can see this nice, beautiful, heavy confluence, and that's why I'm saying keep your eyes also on the dashboard, because when that macro trend shifts, you're first going to get the tell on the dashboard, and then you can start looking at your lower time frames to see if you get these short signals that will basically give you an inkling on a pullback. Okay, any pullback opportunities can be found on the dashboard. Now, LTC on the 12-hour, beautiful C-span trade, once again, 78.22 target. How about the daily? Any confluence on the daily, and what do you know, guys? 78.22 also lining up with this entire cluster here, 21 EMA and Tenkin. Okay, and once again, you can see that price had been trending on the 10 SMA until we've lost it for the first time since the trend actually began. Okay, so this looks like it actually wants to come down further. Target that I'm looking for to the downside as far as the bid is concerned, I'm looking for, top of the range, which comes in around 79.97, all the way down to 78.22, which is our critical weekly, resistance now turned into support. Alrighty, so this for me is going to be the next bid opportunity on the chart. What is the target to the upside that we're looking for? Honestly, guys, $109 all the way up to $127. From support at 78.22 to the first 109 target, that's going to be a good 40% to the upside, to $127, that's going to be a good 62% to the upside. These are going to be beautiful swing plays to be had with a very, very easy invalidation to manage, okay? 78.22 is going to be your invalidation. If we break below that region, I'm saying you are invalidated on your trade, and that way you can get out safely on the retest of the region. Alrighty, but yeah, this wraps up the LTC analysis. I think this chart is looking good, presenting everyone with an opportunity on the horizon. So keep your eyes on LTC if you're looking for an easy one to manage. Now, I will be covering more altcoins. If you guys have any requests, make sure to mention in the comment section below. Of course, the popular vote wins. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, and I will see you in the next Bitcoin update. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, guys.